Because the madrasa and the school are in talking to each other, they can both pick up on any problems that they feel that the child is undergoing. Like, for instance, bullying. He may be bullied at school and he may not feel comfortable with approaching any of his teachers, and he may approach the imam here, who the imam can then basically contact the school teacher, and vice versa. If he's being bullied at the madrasa, he can also approach his teachers, and I feel this is a key basically to his education.
I've got 2 children attending a school and 2 children attending a madrasa. I think they will help because then teacher and mom will know more about them kids, their behavior, more about them, and it will help the kids as well, because the kid will know the teacher knows about us and the mom knows about me as well, and it'll work out great.
I have been called upon by one of the head teachers in a local school regarding sometimes a certain child, and they are having some behavior issues with the child, because obviously the same child comes to madrasa, and when I was told that the child, they have a behavior issue with the child, I was shocked. I said, this child behaves very well in madrasa, and that is why the head teacher, maybe she called me to share this information and to speak with this child and suggest to him how his behavior should be. So I think this was for that child, it was very beneficial, because there was a shared information between the head teacher and myself.
As well as hearing about examples of best practice, such as that experienced in Tinsley, the delegates had the chance to discuss ways forward on how to support the students.
Let us now talk more constructively about the steps that we need to take in order to work together, and what are the problems already that exist, and how do we, if there is any way to solve them, then how do we look forward to solve them.
We talk about raising standards in schools, so we've got all these interventions after school clubs, study support, all these things. But we've got to remember that there are other pulls on the children's times, and it's not just the time actually spent in the madrasa. It's the preparation for the next day in the madrasa as well.
I've captured the bits about being visible, and I think that's about the imams being visible in school, teachers being visible in madrasas, joining up for children, the idea that education is both in school and in madrasa.
Strong links were forged at the conference, with imams and teachers making good connections. Both sides responded well, in a very positive way, to the opportunities to work together.
I think the most inspiring thing I've seen today was actually during the coffee break. The extent to which people were talking, sharing ideas, and actually exchanging phone numbers and contact details with a view to meeting up after the conference, because that's the key thing. What will happen after the conference?
For me, today has provided the opportunity to meet a lot of people that I've never made contact with before. I've taught in Sheffield for many, many years, and this is the first opportunity that we've had to actually come together in this sort of way, to hear people's different views, to hear what's going on in different parts of the city, and to try and help us start to think about a strategy in our schools for how we can relate much more effectively with the madrasas.
This is certainly, it's opened up a lot of doors in ways we can improve the service that we provide for the children. It's also introduced lots of other things, like we know quite a few other teachers now, so it's open doorways.
The next steps for me now are I will go back to school, I will start to make links with the local imam, which I've only ever done on an ad hoc basis before. I've talked with him, I've talked with how we can meet together as a group of schools with the local Medina Mosque. He's willing to come in and talk to us. I would quite like for them to host a staff meeting for all the staff at our school to go down and have a look at the mosque and to chat with him about the issues and ways forward.
And what has really helped me is the commitment that I've seen from the actual teachers and the headmasters, mistresses, what they've shown towards providing and helping the children in all aspects of their studies. So they don't want the children to be in two worlds, which we don't want as well. And by seeing this commitment from state schools as well, it's, you know, given me more of an understanding and wanted me to do more as well. So now I feel that I can do a lot more because I have a commitment from the other side.
As well as the teachers and imams, other community stakeholders welcomed the opportunities the conference offered.
I want to work with the madrassas and with other local agencies to try and support them with funding, because without resources, I think with the best will in the world, we're not going to make very much progress. In the group work that I was involved in, we've talked about sharing good practice, about the schools offering training opportunities, sharing how to do lesson planning, how behaviour management is carried out in schools. The madrassas have likewise offered to have school teachers in and to have parents and staff in to look at madrasa practices which are actually very good and which may be unknown to the local community or to schools that aren't involved with them. So I think there are a series of quite easy steps that we can take initially to make progress on the agendas that we've talked about today.
I think the benefits of a project from an initiative like this are that there's wider community learning, there's positive community engagement and impact, and it sends a clear message within the community. Parents, community leaders and other stakeholders can then sort of learn from experiences and then sort of filter those into the wider education system. It increases and enhances involvement between communities, parents, children and teachers. What we have to understand is madrassas and mosques are voluntary groups, third sector, that are built on contributions and community support, and the experiences within the establishments are very limited to part-time teachers or unpaid staff. The common sort of denominator between the two schools and the madrassas is the young children, and I think we have to sort of benchmark practical learning experiences, and it's where the schools will play their part in sharing their experience, particularly the teachers, as to the environments that are fit and suitable for young children to learn. And those then have to be transferred over to the mosques and madrassas, who can then gain from that experience and offer similar environments for learning.
I think it is extremely important for the imams and the schools to be working together on the subjects what we've been discussing here at the conference, and the cohesion. It is very, very important for the schools and the madrasas. The fantastic good practices which are in madrasas and even in schools, they need to be shared. The barriers need to be brought down. I think every parent wants the best for their children and every child matters. This opportunity, what's been given at this conference, is absolutely huge.
The conference in Sheffield has been seen as a great step forward in assisting educational, social and community cohesion.
I think it's very important that the teachers and the imams from both schools talk to each other, so it'd be like not living in two worlds.